Dear students, welcome to our class on Indian Monsoons 6. Indian Monsoons 6. In this class, we try to understand long range forecast of Indian summer monsoon rainfall. Long range forecast of Indian summer monsoon rainfall. Now, in that, a brief introduction. Basic premise, that is the need of long range forecast. Why we need long range forecast? Then the history, when did it actually started? Now, so presently the operational mode at present. So these are the things that we try to understand. Before that, I would like to impress upon you that in the fifth class, previous class, we tried to understand medium range weather forecast, that is 72 hours to 240 hours or 3 to 10 days. Then extended range forecast, 2 weeks to 1 month. Now, actually, the National Center for Medium Range Weather Forecasting was established in the year 1988. After that, particularly Agromet advisory services were transferred to NCMRW. From then onwards, there were a lot of improvements. General circulation models were used, statistical, empirical, combination of different models were used. And now, with 80% accuracy, we are very confident that with 80, even in my fairest to be 90% accuracy with reference to temperature and precipitation. This bit will come in your exam. Basically, NCMRWF or medium range weather forecasting or extended range forecasting, these are all for the farming communities. Now, such accuracy. Now, in the days to come, I am quite confident that a day is quite near that we give the best predictions, particularly with reference to temperature, with reference to this rainfall or the quantity of the rainfall. Temporal and spatial variation. We have downscaled to the level of district nowadays. Days to come, further downscaling. Now, so these are all the things that we learned in this class. We try to understand what is a long range weather forecast. Beloved students, certain statistics I would like to share with you that see, the Indian summer monsoon rainfall, ISMR, the Indian summer monsoon rainfall is the lifeline. The agriculture in India is tied very there is a strong bond between the Indian summer monsoon rainfall and the Indian agriculture. Socio-economic impacts are there as far as Indian summer monsoon rainfall occurrence is concerned. Now, some important statistics I would like to share with you. These are the things that I told in the basic course, introductory, Agrometeorology and climate change. However, I would like to impress upon you here in the long range weather forecasting some basic statistics. 78% of the grass cropped area, 75% of the geographical area in India are directly linked to Indian summer monsoon rainfall. That much is the thing. I don't want to share the name of the finance minister in the year 2010-11. In the House of Parliament, the finance minister, while introducing the budget, told, I pray Lord Indra to bestow us with copious amount of rainfall, seasonally distributed rainfall. That's what is the importance of rainfall. Its bond with reference to Indian agriculture and economy is concerned. Every activity starts with the onset of monsoon. Okay, now long range forecast. Yes, long range weather forecast. It is the history. I will tell after a couple of minutes. Please see that long range forecast. What is the need of it? Yes, in the first 5 classes we try to understand. It is the Indian summer monsoon occurs with reassurance. However, there is a spatial and temporal variation. There is a spatial and temporal variation. Where it is needed, it may or may not. When it is needed, it may or may not. Even the quantity is same. Now, in the next class, I try to enlighten you in the climate change. Short episodes with high intensity are the basic features nowadays in the event of in the backdrop of climate change. Now, here I would like to impress upon my beloved students of agricultural meteorology that as agricultural meteorology course students, we should understand to the extent that what is the brief history of long range weather forecast and what are the developments that have taken place. Of course, even the brief history I covered that one. What are the issues involved? What are the models? Whether it is a parameter, okay, parametric regression models, whether it is a simple regression models or what, a combination of these two, dynamical, all these things are there in the long range weather forecast. It's not only in India. The summer monsoon, it is as I said, it is a planetary system in the global atmospheric system. It is a planetary system. So certain countries, certain organizations, even within India, they go on forecasting it, but we never and ever de-link from their findings. We take everything into consideration nowadays and issue the long range weather forecast in two stages, in the month of April, okay, in the month of May also, okay. For June we give outlook for the whole country. Second stage we give July outlook, July effect. Like that, there are so many that we try to understand in this class in a very brief form, which are really useful to agricultural meteorological students. We, the agricultural meteorologists, are expected to learn the framework of this long range weather forecast. Now, here, in the long range weather forecast, empirical, statistical, and dynamical methods are used. In the long range forecast, empirical, statistical, and dynamical methods are used. Now, okay, the India Meteorological Department has been issuing the operational range forecast of the some southwest monsoon, okay, since 1886. Since 1886, using statistical methods. Initially, statistical methods. Now, so what is the need and what is the basis? I have discussed with you. Need. See, there is a positive. Please write this one. There is a positive and strong relation. There is a positive and strong correlation between Indian summer monsoon rainfall and the Kharif yields. In the Kharif, it is the coefficient of variation is 75%. Okay, CV is 75% coefficient of variation. Please note that. But for the Rabi, the coefficient of variation is only 0.45%. The coefficient. Now, that is the importance of Indian summer monsoon as far as agriculture is concerned. Similarly, power sector, electricity, transport, water, disaster management sectors, water, all the sectors, day-to-day life won't go without the influence of Indian summer monsoon rainfall. Okay, animal production, even plantation crops, everything need Indian summer monsoon rainfall in a particular time. That's what I told 2 minutes back. The budget of the union in the Indian Lok Sabha, okay, so finance minister himself was very, very, very clear that he prayed Lord Indra to bestow the best monsoon. That's what. Okay. Here I would like to share a brief history of Indian summer monsoon rainfall forecasting. Indian summer monsoon brief history. Actually, India experienced worst drought in one of the worst droughts in the year 1877. Just 2 years before that, Blandford was the scientist in the British, of course, scientific system. From there, he had come to India. He established a wonderful thing. in the year 1875, India Meteorological Department, Imperial Meteorological Department. At that time it was called Imperial Meteorological Department in the year 1875. 1877 there was a worst drought. Then he tried to give the Indian summer monsoon forecasting based on a statistical technique. What he used was the a tentative forecast, by taking into consideration the relationship between the winter and spring snowfall over Himalayas and Indian summer month. Simple thing he has taken. Winter snowfall and spring snowfall over Himalayas he has taken. Then the success of he made a good success. Then he started issuing the first operation forecast from 1886. That's what I told 2 to 3 minutes back. Now, from 1895 onwards, the monsoon forecasts were based on 3 parameters. Before that, actually, since 1886, the long range forecast of the monsoon rainfall became one of the important operational duties of Imperial Meteorological Department at the time. After independence, it has become India Meteorological Department. From 1895 onwards, the monsoon forecasts were based on 3 factors. Earlier, it was just snowfall in the winter and spring season over Himalayas. Blandford, wonderful, excellent scientist who had established a wonderful India Meteorological Department at present, which was known as Imperial Meteorological Department at that time. Now, in 1895, 3 parameters: Himalayan snow cover, local peculiarities of weather phenomena, and local peculiarities over Indian Ocean and Australia. These 3 were taken from only 1 to 3 by 1895. Then Walker, wonderful, excellent. Walker circulation, what that I need not say about such a great personality in one line or in a class. So, between 1910 and 1923, between 1910 and 23, he had done wonderful contributions for the Indian summer monsoon. That's what he has taken for the first time. 3 more things: North Atlantic Oscillation, North Pacific Oscillation, and Southern Oscillation. For the first time, Southern Oscillation. These oscillations, which we call it as the large-scale seesaw variations at the global pressure patterns. Global pressure patterns, that's what we discussed in the introductory Agrometeorology and climate change. Global pressure patterns. There we discussed a brief about that one. Even in the general climatology also, I have taken one class on this. So, Walker from 1910 to 1923 for 13 long years has taken these 3 parameters. Of course, he had divided India into 3 regions, homogeneous at that time. Now, coming to during 1980s, substantial work had taken place from 1980 onwards. Earlier, up to that point, the multiple regression based LRF, were given. Then, by course, using a large number of predictors, not only 3, large number of predictors. And why large number of predictors? They were well distributed in time and space. Those parameters that were well distributed both in time and space, they were taken into consideration from 1980 onwards. Now, between 1988 and 2002, approximately for 14 years, India Meteorological Department's operational forecast for country as a whole have been based on 16 parametric and power regression models. 16 parametric and power regression. Parametric and power regression models were used. Now, in 2003, IMD has updated a strategy issuing a long-range weather forecast for the Indian summer monsoon rainfall. Accordingly, the long-range forecasts are issued in 2 stages. Long-range weather forecasts are issued in the 2 stages from 2003 onwards. Between 1988 and up to 2002, 16 parametric and power regression models were used. 2003, 2 stages. What are the 2 stages? Number 1, the first stage forecast issued in April. It consisted of forecast for seasonal rainfall over the country as a whole. In April, in the year 2000, this had happened. Country as a whole, in the month of April, it is being given. Then, in the second stage, forecast issued in the end of June. Second stage, it is issued at the end of June. It consisted of update of the April forecast for the whole country and seasonal forecast for the geographical subdivisions. There were some geographical subdivisions of the country and July rainfall forecast for the country as a whole. So, in the month at the end of June, two things. In addition to the first thing, okay, up to what is happening in general, and July rainfall forecast for the country as a whole are also given at the end of June. These are the two stages. First April, second is end of June. Now, what had happened later? During 2003 to 2006, the operational first and update long range forecast of the seasonal rainfall over the country as a whole was issued using 8 and 10. Earlier, 1988 to 2016. Now, 8 and 10 parameter models based on power regression and probabilistic analysis techniques. Okay, so 8 and 10. First stage, okay, very good. And 8 and 10 were also added. Here, important thing is new statistical forecasting system based on the ensemble technique. New statistical forecasting system based on the ensemble technique introduced in 2007. And for seasonal rainfall forecasting over the country as a whole, ensemble technique was introduced in the year 2007. In the year 2003, first stage is that is 16 parametric and power regression models. Okay, 88 to 2002. 2003, the two stage we have come. In the year 2007, ensemble techniques. Okay, of course, average techniques, that's what we call that. In the year 2009, IMD started to issue the weather forecast for August rainfall also, for the whole August. See, here I would like to impress, I told several times, the coefficient of variation of rainfall in July and August is less. The coefficient of variation of Indian summer monsoon rainfall is more in two situations, in the onset and the withdrawal. It is very high. Now, India Meteorological Department has one of its duties in the long range weather forecasting. August rainfall is also included after that one. Now, if you see the history in a very brief form, parametric model, of course, it was developed by none other than wonderful international famous Gavarkar sir for 11 years. Power regression model, of course, in the this parametric model, weightage was given to all the parameters equally. In the power regression, okay, model, weightage were appropriate weightage was given. Of course, 8 and 10 parameter power regression models were used for issuing qualitative forecasts. Now, if you see the overall scenario is like this. The two-stage forecasting system introduced in 2003 is still used to issue operational forecasts of Indian summer monsoon rainfall. What was introduced, a two-stage system was going on now. However, from 2007, a new ensemble method was introduced. In, of course, there are three major changes in the new statistical forecast system from that used during 2003 to 6. That is, the three changes are use of new smaller predictors data, use of new non-linear techniques, and application of the concept of ensembling averages. Application of ensembling averages. In addition to these three changes were made, that were used between 2003 to 6. Number one is use of new smaller predictor data, non-linear techniques, okay, application of concept of ensembling averaging. So with these, now the long range weather forecasting is done. Once again, I would like to impress upon my beloved students that we, the Agriculture Meteorology Department students, shall understand to the extent of our use. We need not and must not go into the real complexities of simulations, general circulation models. Once again, I would like to share with you that I was very fortunate to undergo DSAT, Decision Support Systems for Agrotechnology Transfer Models. Later, I developed exclusive interest on GCMs. I developed interest on coupling of GCMs and then interacted with my beloved colleagues. And I thought that this much of theoretical knowledge is enough and some tours to certain countries or trainings within in India even. Okay, Indian Institute of Tropical Meteorology or OSHO and departments of meteorology and oceanography that are situated in Vizag or even in Indian Institute of Sciences and even national space agencies where these weather forecasts or satellite information is given, particularly Dehradun. These are all the places if you go on tours, so you get more knowledge. But theoretical this much is enough knowledge on tours, and then in interacting with your teachers you can get more knowledge. Thanking you for your patient hearing.